Hello there, YouTube. How y'all doing? It's your boy Nameless back at it again with a banger of an episode of What If I Died in Arcane? Well, I have nothing else to say in this intro. No more yapping and taking like 5 to 10 minutes of your time. So, yeah, I have nothing else to say other than let's get on to this What If, yeah? So, we start off where I left off, of when Victor came in asking for Powder's answer. And she starts off by saying, well, you see, as much as I like to accept the offer, I have lots to do here, like find my friend, survive in this hellhole, and try to change it. But that's what I thought at first. But yeah, I don't think I can do this anymore in here. It's not it's not possible. So, fresh start, clean slate in Piltover. Yay. And Victor's like, so that's a yes then. Powder's like, yeah, it's a yes. Victor's like, splendid. Let's go then. They're like, whoa, wait, Victor. We'll meet. Just stay here. I'll get my stuff. And Victor's like, oh, okay then. And she goes, gets her stuff, comes back after some time, and he's like, yeah, let's go. And Victor's like, splendid. Then they move on. And Powder's like, the name's Powder, by the way. And it's like, Victor's like, huh? My name, it's Powder. Oh, yes, of course, I forgot to take your name. Though, even if I did ask, you still refused. It's like, yeah, don't sweat the small details. Let's just go. And with a stern look, both of them go to Piltover. Duh. Now we do a little skip. It's not really like a time skip. Skip to when they go inside the area, like the academy area, and then go up to Professor Heimerdinger. Peak character, by the way. Anyways, so Victor brings Powder to Professor Heimerdinger's office and is like, "Oh, would you look at that? It's the esteemed genius that Victor was oh so talking about yesterday." And Powder's like, "Really? You just had to blabber about me to everybody?" And Victor's like, well, I don't have a lot of people to talk to, so only a handful of people know who you are. Powder's like, uh-huh, sure, buddy. With like a sus look on her face. Heimerdinger's like, well, what is your name? And Powder's like, it's Powder. Who are you supposed to be? You look kinda cute. And she just picks him up with her hands and just squishes his face. Well, Victor's like, that's Professor Heimerdinger. And she's like, oh shit. She puts him down and is like, sorry, sir? Heimerdinger's all chill. And he's like, ha ha ha. Accidents do happen. Just make sure it doesn't happen again. And Power's like, yeah, of course, sir. And Heimerdinger's like, it's fine. Just call me Professor or Professor Heimerdinger. No need for sirs and all. Because I am a professor. You know, Heimerdinger's the name, Heimerdinging's the game. And no one laughed. Yeah, poor Heimerdinger tried to make a joke. Anyways, cute little interaction done. Victor introduces Powder to Jace, Talus, Muggo, and then she gets enrolled into the academy, and then Mel Medarda comes in. She's like, "Oh hi, hello," and she's like, "Oh hi, hello." Yap. All done. Introductions over. Time skip time. That's what I've been waiting for. Time skip 3 years, not 7 years. Time skip 3 years later. Powder, the being little genius she is, she has completed her education. Yeah, I know. Wow, damn, that's crazy. Completed education in 3 years, like set a record. Youngest, smartest ever. Everybody's proud of her. But she has her own problems aside all this. The voices in her head. Yep, Milo, Clagger, and now Vi are back to haunt her again. We move on 3 years later, when Powder has grown up a little bit. She has completed all of her education. She's a full-blown scientist, helping Jace and Victor with the Hex Gates. So yeah, she's introduced to the Hex deck, and it's been going smoothly, way better than original, like in canon. And some of y'all might be wondering, like, wow, Powder is that good? And yeah, of course, Jinx in the canon counterpart, she was an absolute genius, bro. She no prior knowledge, no nothing. She must have read like some sort of books and was able to make high quality fucking bombs, mechanisms, guns, weapons, and with just reading like some sort of like manuals and books written by Jace, she managed to like do the hex tech thingy. She managed to create a weapon out of hex tech with no prior knowledge to it, just some random ass instruction book that was probably very shittily written with shit all over the place, but she was able to decipher it, do the little magic rune code thingy, to which nobody could have done except for Jace and Victor, and was able to create an hex tech weapon, which is absolutely fucking mad. So just imagine Powder with her genius paired with the Academy's knowledge, paired with the tutelage of Heimerdinger, Victor, and Jace. Yeah, she's gonna be cracked. So stuff's been going great for the Hextech group with the addition of Powder. The Academy's flourishing, everything's going a-okay, absolutely fine. Except for one person, which is our best girl, Powder. She's been having nightmares upon nightmares and voices in her head, troubling her day by day. But she has two things. Two things that keeps her so busy to the point that all these voices won't don't even bother to bother her. We now go to a little interaction of Powder and Heimerdinger after she has done her work in her lab, because all the time she's just working and working and working. And she goes to like to take walks and stuff afterwards, and she doesn't really have much of a social life aside from just work with Jace, my boy Victor, glorious evolution, and she sometimes speaks to Mel, like barely, but still sometimes, and mostly with Professor Heimerdinger and Victor. She's like forged a special bond with the both of them, like with a master-student relationship with Heimerdinger and a brosis relationship with Victor and, well, Powder, of course. We now move on to a little interaction between Heimerdinger and Powder after she has done her work, where the voice starts bothering her again. She goes to her room, which is like in the academy, right next to the like close to the proximity to the lab, because that's all she ever does. Go to her room, do stuff, go back to the lab, stay there for a couple of hours, even sleep in the lab sometimes. Forgets she has even a room. She acts a bit strange while talking to Heimerdinger. Goes to her room. The voice starts beating at her again. She's like, "You don't deserve this. You think you can just betray Undercity after all you've done, all you did, and just come over to Pilty with a fresh start? Yeah, not gonna happen. Not only did you betray Zon by becoming a fucking Pilty, you're now helping them. Wow, what a upstanding citizen you are." So yeah, the voices of Milo, mostly Milo just berating her, Vi just chiming in here and there, Clagger just stays there. And yeah, the voices bother her all the time. And then Heimerding is like, comes in and is like, "Powder, are you okay?" Powder just says, yeah, Professor Jaime, I'm fine. And yeah, she has a little nickname for Professor Heimerdinger now, calling him Professor Jaime. Has a little ring to it. And every time she mentions it, Professor Heimerdinger, no, sorry, Professor Jaime lets out a little laugh. But not now, because he's actually concerned for what's happening. Recent days, something's wrong with her. She keeps on talking to herself, I guess, saying to shut up to people who haven't even talked yet or haven't even said anything yet. So yeah, behavior is a bit weird. Shit's going crazy. And yeah, my boy, my main man, Professor Jaime, goes on to check up on her. like the worried guy he is. My goat. I know something's wrong, Powder. Just tell me what it is. Maybe we can sort it out together. And Powder's like, it's nothing, Professor. Really, I'm okay. Just a little tired from all the lab stuff, you know. Professor is like, there's no real way to say this other than just outright saying it. I know you have voices in your head, Powder, telling you negative things. Powder just turns around and is like, huh? What? What? No, I don't. And Professor Jaime's just, deny it all you want, my child, but I know what it's like. Even I had it before, but they're gone now. But yeah, for someone who has lived so long, experienced such tragedies in life, it's a given. Though I have been released from it, I still face some relapse. And I know how hard it is to not talk about it, to want to talk about it but can't. Feels like you just bother everybody. Isn't that right? Ugh. Yeah, spot on, Professor Jaime. You're always right. And Jaime's like, yeah, most of the time I am, but that really doesn't matter. What matters is that you're not alone. You have friends to talk to. You have me, Victor, Chase, me, Victor, Chase, Mel, me, Victor, Chase, Mel, the tons of other friends you have to talk to. It's like, wow, thanks, Professor Jaime. Way to rub salt on the wound by saying I have no friends. Like, that's not true. I didn't say that. You're very selective on how you get friends, and it's very cool, and that's cool, you know. And Powder just chuckles at this. You're like, yeah, I get it. Thanks, Professor Jaime. But let's talk about this later. I need to take a nap. And Professor Heimerdinger just was like, of course, just sweet dreams, Powder. See ya. Of course, my goat Heimerdinger tries his best to cheer her up, fails miserably, but mission failed successfully. It's all good for now. So yeah, I've told you guys about one of the two things that subsides her voices. But what's the other thing, you might ask? Well, let's get on with it. It's late at night, like 8, 9-ish. It's not that late, but still, it's 8, 9-ish. She sneaks out of the academy, out of her room, out of the academy, and out of Piltover. And then she goes to the Undercity. For what? Oh, you must be wondering, like, oh, she's just going to go to her old home, reminiscing about that stuff, but there is no old home. There is nothing that resembles our old home anymore. Just a span of 3 years, Silco has run the streets with Shimmer, has run the streets with crime and all that bad stuff. Powder just looks at Zon, at the Undercity, with just pity. She can't do nothing about it, but that will change in the future, because she has her own plans. Her own plans to take down the guy who actually insinuated the attack on everybody, the murderer of her father, Silco. A little scene shift to a pit fight. Yeah, a pit fight, where the crowd goes crazy, cheering for one person, just screaming one name. Vi! Vi! Go get him! Kill that guy! Go! Yeah, Vi! And you guys would be confused, be like, Vi? Isn't she dead? Well, let's find out, shall we? So the crowd goes crazy while this one small girl is taking on this big guy. She's punching him and punching him and punching him, kicking his solar plexus, hitting in his kneecaps, bringing him down, an uppercut, a right hook. Bang, 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 bang. Jaw dislocated, nose fractured, elbow shaken. The guy's brain is just being rattled, and then one final smack to the face. He gets a big ass concussion, falls to the ground. And the commentator is like, "Whoa, what a nasty combo! Violet, although AKA Vi, has taken down, let's just name him Jeff. Jeff with a decisive blow right in the noggin." Everybody give it up for a second champion in a row, Violet. Everybody's just screaming, Vi, 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 Vi. Epic scene. We now move on where she's collecting the money and everybody is just cheering on. It's like, yo, nice fight, nice fight. Then she's moving out. She has a hood up, so many people can't see her face. She brings it down to reveal Powder, the blue haired girl, not the red haired one or the pink haired one. What? That makes no sense, does it? Well, it does, a little bit. So, for the past couple of months, she has been going to Zon and getting into fights, mostly normal fights in the street. But then she's like, you know what? I'm gonna do some pit fighting. And so, she goes to fight in the pit, but she needs a little stage name. And to honor her sister, since Vi would defo do something like this. Yeah, she would defo do something like this. My girl Powder goes with a stage name of Violet or Vi for short. Starts beating relentlessly out of everybody there. She lost her first 8 matches, then started winning consecutively her next 20 matches. So yeah, shit's been good. No real bruises except for the ones on her hands. She got hit a little bit, but it's on the body, so can't really show that to people. This is the second thing that helps her like deal with the voices and stuff. When she's really focused into doing something, the voices don't bother her anymore. So yeah, a good haul of money. She doesn't really need the money. Hell, she doesn't even need any sort of money. All her amenities, everything is taken care of by Professor Heimerdinger and the Academy. While the Council has their own like revelations about inviting a Zonite, someone from the Undercity, into the ranks of the Academy, since it had already been done with Victor, but Victor is not like, he can't really do much with his condition. And he has provided a lot of support for it, but they're a little skeptical with Powder, but then being vouched by Jace, Mel, Professor Heimerdinger, and Victor, they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, we'll just let her in. And much to their surprise, she has been helping quite a lot, improving conditions both here and trying to do stuff with Zon, but nothing's ever working. So yeah, she's a little on the good side of the council and Piltover in general. That aside, she doesn't really need the money. So she goes to a brothel. The hell? What's she doing there? She goes inside and she's like, hey, Babette. She knows Babette through stuff after Mander's death. The only reason why Powder survived, well, one of the only reasons why Powder survived for a whole last year in Zon while being by herself is because of support from Babette and other people. A way to pay her back was to give almost all of the earnings towards Babette to like help her with the conditions and stuff. And she really appreciates the thought. And she asks, how's things over at Piltover, kid? And Powder's like, yeah, it's been alright, I guess. It's just I have to suck up to so many rich assholes, do whatever they want. They always like, do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. But other than that, working with Victor, Jace, and Professor Heimerdinger, it's been cool. This hex tech stuff that they're doing, it's really cool to be honest. All this magic, arcane things. Yeah, I think I can get behind it. God, the amount of work they do, you must expect something great to happen. But of course, all they ever do is fail, fail, fail. And they're like, Powder, what do you think about it? Provide us with some sort of answer. And then I give in with my genius intellect, and then oh my god, it makes sense all of a sudden. They're really dumb. Babette just laughs and says, sounds like you're having a lot of fun there, huh? And Powder just has unusual expressions. He's like, yeah, it's not all bad. It's not all good either. I was like, either way. I'm glad you're safe, kid. And you should really stop this whole pit fighting thing. As much as I appreciate you giving us all this money, we don't want you to put your life at risk, your identity at risk, just to get a few bucks out of you. And Valo's like, nah, it's one of the only things that keeps me going, to be honest. I guess I'm turning much into my sister. All this fighting keeps me focused, keeps me relaxed, even though I get beat up here and there. It's worth it. So yeah, all this heartfelt conversation done. Powder leaves, goes back to Piltover. It's like 11:30ish. She goes to her room, but before she goes to her room, Victor's like, "What are you doing up so late, Powder?" Powder's like, I went for a walk." And Victor's like, "Sure, you went for a walk. A walk so dangerous that made you bleed out on your knuckles. Is that right?" And she just hides her hands like, "What?" I don't know what she's talking about. "You've been going fighting, haven't you?" Cloud just gives and says, "Yeah, but I swear it's not all dangerous. I I'm not really in a position to lecture you, Powder. I don't think I have it in me to do it. Not like a responsible person myself. So I don't have any right to judge you, but just just stay safe." And Powder with a warm smile says, "Of course. Why wouldn't I be safe?" So yeah, nice interaction between Victor and Powder, and this will go on for forever, I guess. The Hex Gates will be released quicker than ever due to Powder's help. So yeah, things will be a bit progressive on Hextech side, and yeah, more, more time skip for about another 3 to 4 years. Things have been great. Hextech has been evolving quite much, all with the helping people in the fissures, trying to negotiate with Zon, but nothing's happening. All these inventions being pushed out from Hextech, making Piltover's lives easy. And with this, with the help of Powder, everything's going way quicker, way more advanced, way more amazing. And happy Progress Day! Yep, it's Progress Day time. And now this is where things go a little bit different, I guess. Since there is no Jinx anymore. It's this good old Powder. Things are going great in Progress Day. Shimmer's being transported in. There's no issue, except there is one. Now, you guys might be wondering, like, why didn't Echo find Powder even if she was there for a whole last year? There's one simple reason for it. Silco was hunting down Echo. He didn't know that Powder was still alive. Well, Silco didn't know Powder was still alive, and neither did Echo, to be honest. He just knew that everybody died in that area, and Powder's body couldn't be found. It was his Vanders, Vi's, Claggers, and Milos. But he assumed her to be dead. He tried to find her, but Silco has been hunting him down, as he does. He wants to get rid of anything and everything that Vander has some sort of relation to. So yeah, he's been hiding, evading Silco's movements, and then with struggles, he formed the firelights around the huge ass tree, built his own community, and things have been good. And he has been attacking Shimmer plants or Shimmer shipments. And just like in canon, Echo with his Firelight gang, they attack. Things go okay. Sevika absolutely demolishes everybody since there's no Jinx here. There's no interference. So Echo, while being get well while getting his shit rocked by Sevika, he's like, I don't have time for you guys. So he runs away while lighting the entire place up. All the Shimmer stuff got lit up. So yeah, Sevika kinda messed up. Though she beat Echo in a fight, she didn't win the war. There's no Jinx to be involved here. So yeah, all the goons go away. Caitlyn doesn't have her lead. And to be honest, it doesn't even matter if that big dude with the tattoos was there, because the only purpose he had was that he led her to Vi. But even so, if he was there, he could have gotten interrogated, but I don't think this guy would rat out on Silco because Silco here is much more ruthless. He's much more like very, very, very bad. So, yeah, he gets word of like one tiny bit of information saying that this guy ratted him out. Yeah, he's cooked. Absolutely cooked, even in still water. Caitlyn does her little search there, while Jace, along with Powder and Victor, are going to deliver the speeches. Now, for the Hex gemstones, or the Hextech gemstones, they were developed very early on, but Professor Heimerdinger was like, no, 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 we're not weaponizing anything, keep that at bay, and Powder obliged, and when Powder obliges, Victor also says, okay. And he's like, ah, fine. But then, of course, Jay is convincing both Victor and Powder. They're like, fine. Because Powder knows. Powder knows this gemstone stuff is very, very, very dangerous. Into the wrong hands, yeah, we might as well be cooked. But I don't think it would be that dangerous because the opposition doesn't have Jinx. There aren't many sciences except for Singed. Fuck that guy, to be honest. He's a bitch. Why does he get a happy ending? Anyways, except for Singed. But for Singed, he's much of a like a bio kind of guy. Not all this, but I still think he can do something about him, about all these Hextech gemstones, but not to the extent of what Powder has done. Or Jinx on that other side. Zon is much more weaker, and Silco's empire is much more weaker just because a variable of Jinx was not there. Even if he's more ruthless, even if he's more controlled, or even if he's more of a kingpin now, without Jinx holding him back. Without Jinx, a lot of the things doesn't really happen. That aside, everything goes well. Caitlyn gets caught by Marcus. She gets to a little duty, and then the night shift and shit, the graveyard shift. While some of you might expect nothing to happen, that's not gonna cut it. The Hextech gem is going to be stolen. It's going to be stolen with the likes of Civica and the others blowing up everything, taking the gemstone and fleeing. So yeah, the guards, the enforcers are dead. So and the Hextech gem is stolen. Everybody's in shock. They're like, "Oh my god, they're dead. It blew up. The Hextech gem is stolen." And yeah, so of course in this speech, before I would have wanted Jace, Powder, and Victor to introduce the Hextech gemstones, but I still think with how Jace hesitated and with the backup of Heimerdinger's statement with Powder and Victor, I would say he wouldn't introduce the Hextech stuff, Hextech gemstone stuff. So yeah, that's that. The plaza or whatever the fuck that was where the Hextech gemstone was got caught on fire, blew up. They took the gemstone. It's now with Silco. And half a dozen enforcers dead as always. There's no like real lead of the monkey thing, so Powder, not Powder. The Caitlyn doesn't have like a huge ass lead. There's still a lot of things that ties towards Silco's empire, but all she has is just baseless worries. Now, without Vi, I don't think Caitlyn would be much use to this story. And then a lot of the things that's gonna happen here, since Jinx is not there and Silco's more erratic and Vi is not in the equation, a lot of things are not gonna happen, and a lot of things are going to be so different. And yeah, I think this is a good place to leave up. So yeah, this is the end of What If Vi Died in Arcane Part 2. Just let me know what you think about this episode. The pacing was a bit slow, that I can agree with. But I just want to get that Arcane feeling, you know? Arcane does so well with its expression, with its dialogue and stuff. Even though the action is like a main part of it, I still think that the expressions, the emotions, the talking, all the dialogue, the everything that relates to the characters, it's amazing. And I want to reciprocate that feeling, you know, towards this what if. So yeah, just bear with me, even though the pacing is slow. And since there's not much to work with, more since Vi and Jinx are not in the equation, a lot of things will go different, a lot of things will not happen. I just want to say, just stick with me. I'll stick to the plan. It'll all go great. Show your support. Everything will go well. So yeah, enough of my yap. I have nothing else to say other than stay tuned for the next episode for maybe another why what if Vi died in Arcane or part 5 of what if Sagi never lost his ego. Peace.